The real reason the most powerful civilizations of the ancient world vanished isn't found in a single war, but in a systemic failure of history itself. In 1200 BC, the Mediterranean was a thriving web of interconnected superpowers, from the pharaohs of Egypt to the Mycenaean kings of Greece. They traded gold, tin, and luxury goods across thousands of miles, creating a sophistication that wouldn't be seen again for centuries. But within just 50 years, almost every major city in the eastern Mediterranean was burned to the ground. The Hittite Empire, once a rival to Egypt, simply ceased to exist. Its capital, Hattusa, abandoned and forgotten. In Greece, the Mycenaean palaces were looted and destroyed, taking the art of writing with them into the flames. Historians have long debated what could cause such a total and simultaneous collapse across 3 continents. The scale of the disaster was so immense that it plunged the world into a 400-year dark age. Was it a natural disaster or a human one? To understand the fall, we must first look at the height of their power, where the seeds of their destruction were sown. The Bronze Age was defined by its dependency on a single resource, tin, which had to be imported from thousands of miles away. Without tin, there was no bronze. Without bronze, there was no military, and no agricultural tools. Then, from the horizon, a new threat emerged, a group of marauders known only as the Sea Peoples. They were not a single nation, but a displaced mass of refugees and warriors fleeing their own failing lands. Egyptian inscriptions describe them as the foreign countries who made a conspiracy in their islands. They attacked with a ferocity the traditional chariot-based armies of the great kings couldn't handle. Ugarit, a wealthy merchant city, sent a desperate letter to Cyprus. "The enemy's ships are here, and my cities are burned." The letter was never sent. It was found in the ruins of the city, baked hard by the fire that destroyed it. But the Sea Peoples were only the final blow to a system already on the verge of collapse. Deep in the rings of ancient trees, scientists have found evidence of a massive, multi-decade drought. The rains failed, the crops died, and the gods seemed to have abandoned the people. Famine led to internal revolts, as the common people realized their kings could no longer provide the basic necessity of food. When the trade routes were cut by the Sea Peoples, the entire fragile economy shattered like glass. This was a systems collapse, where every strength of a civilization becomes a liability when the foundation fails. Egypt alone survived, but it was a shadow of its former glory. Its empire retracted to the banks of the Nile. The world went quiet. The great libraries were burned, and the memory of how to build grand monuments was lost. For 4 centuries, the eastern Mediterranean lived in small, isolated villages, disconnected from the wider world. But in this silence, something new began to stir. Because bronze was no longer available, smiths began to experiment with a difficult common metal. Iron was harder to work with, but once mastered, it was stronger, cheaper, and available everywhere. The monopoly of the great kings was broken. Power was now in the hands of anyone who could find iron ore. The Phoenicians emerged as the new masters of the sea, creating a simplified alphabet that anyone could learn. This alphabet would eventually become the basis for the Greek, Latin, and English scripts we use today. The collapse was not just an end, but a necessary pruning of a system that had become too rigid to survive. Out of the ruins of the Bronze Age came the Iron Age, the era of the individual, the philosopher, and the republic. We are still living in the world that was forged in the fires of that great collapse. It serves as a stark reminder: no matter how advanced a civilization seems, it is only as strong as its connections. If our global systems failed today, would we have the strength to rebuild from the ash? History is full of incredible stories. Subscribe to the History Minute for more forgotten history.